So, Wagwan, common sense in the family. Hope all of my lovely family members them have a blessed day. And today, as you see, we're going to talk about the dark turn and how the COLAZ SMITH TV, Knife Ninja, and now Whispa Di Minista conflict has now escalated into threats, tensions, and a very dangerous road, my people. So, ladies and gentlemen, supporters of truth, lovers of Jamaica YouTube culture, and every single person tuning into Common Sense today, this is not just another entertainment story anymore, my people. This situation has gone far beyond ordinary social media disagreement, and what started as fallout between COLAZ SMITH TV and Knife Ninja JA has now spiraled into something much darker, much more emotional, and potentially much more dangerous. And to them people, we have to speak carefully, responsibly, and honestly, because when words start sounding like threats, when roads and locations start being mentioned, when family members become involved, when loyalty itself people being turned into obsession, and when emotions begin overpowering reason, that is when situations can move from internet drama into real life consequences. And this is exactly why today's conversation is important. Now, my people, before we continue, let me just make something very clear to everybody watching this video. This discussion is based on some online discussions, people, some online exchanges, public statements, reactions, and the opinions being expressed surrounding this ongoing fallout, people. So nobody should take matters into their own hands. Nobody should encourage violence, and nobody should threaten anyone, and nobody should use this situation as an excuse to spread harm. Because at the end of the day, lives are involved, families are involved, careers are involved, and once certain lines are crossed, people, there is no easy way to turn or to go back. So if you believe in mature conversations, if you believe in fairness, and if you believe creators should be held accountable for their words they put into the atmosphere, then make sure you watch this video until the very end, my people. And as me said, my people, before we go any further, support the movement by liking this video, sharing it across every platform, dropping your thoughts respectfully in the comments, my people, and subscribing to Common Sense, because these conversations really and truly matter. The algorithm, my people, only pushes truth when the people support it, and trust me, what we are about to talk about today is deeper than many people realize. So for people who may just now be hearing about this situation, let us rewind everything properly, my people. At one point, COLAZ SMITH TV and Knife Ninja JA appeared to have a working relationship, an association that many viewers believed was genuine. People saw collaborations, people saw the chemistry, people saw what looked like loyalty, my people. But as we noticed, time went on, cracks began to show. And according to many observers, supporters, and online discussions surrounding the fallout, tensions reportedly began building behind the scene long before the public ever knew anything was wrong. Some people believe ego became involved, others believe jealousy entered the picture, while others believe success created imbalance within the group's dynamic. And unfortunately, this is something we have seen happen many times before in entertainment, social media, music, and content creation. Sometimes people can celebrate your growth while they are growing beside you, but sometimes people begin smiling in your face while secretly resenting your progress. That resentment sits quietly, it grows silently, and eventually it explodes publicly. According to the ongoing narrative surrounding this fallout, many supporters now believe that Knife Ninja JA developed deep insecurities surrounding the success, direction, and recognition of COLAZ SMITH TV. And whether people agree with that assessment or not, one thing is undeniable. The friendship and working relationship completely deteriorated. What was once partnership became division. What was once teamwork became confrontation, and what was once entertainment became hostility. But no more people, as I say, things have escalated even further than even that, because another individual has stepped directly into the center of the conflict, my people, and that individual is none other than Whispa Di Minista. Yeah, man, my people. According to the statements now circulating publicly, Whispa Di Minista, the biological brother of Knife Ninja JA, has now become one of the loudest voices defending his brother. And this is where the entire situation becomes more serious, because this is no longer simply creator versus creator. This has now turned into family involvement, my people, and when family emotion enters public disputes, situations can become unpredictable very quickly. Now, my people, Whisper reportedly came forward making several strong claims. One of them claims that being discussed heavily online is that he allegedly stated he was the person who helped to monetize the COLAZ SMITH TV platform and that he was one of the earliest members associated with the team. Now let us be balanced and fair, right, sir? Nobody is denying that individuals may have been around during the earlier stages of the movement. Nobody is denying people may have contributed ideas, support, energy, or assistance behind the scenes. But according to many supporters defending COLAZ SMITH TV, they are saying something very important. Being around a platform does not automatically make someone the owner of the platform. And that distinction matters with people very heavily. Because once relationships fall apart, people often begin revisiting the past, trying to redefine history. One person says, I built it. Another person says, no, you only helped. Another person said, I made you who you are. And suddenly the public is left trying to figure out where truth ends and ego begins. But the larger issue right now is not even the ownership discussion, my people. The larger issue is the alleged threatening tone that has now entered the situation, and this is where people are becoming deeply concerned. One of the most alarming parts of this ongoing conflicts involves statements allegedly referencing travel routes, locations, and movement. And this is where many viewers begin feeling uncomfortable because, according to what is being discussed publicly, there were comments suggesting that COLAZ SMITH TV should remember he has to pass through areas like Stony Hill when traveling towards the countryside near St. Mary and Portland, particularly Dover, where he reportedly films all his adventure content. Now let's speak up honestly, my people, right there, so. In today's climate, when people are already in public conflict, when emotions are already high, and when tensions are already explosive, statements like these are not going to be interpreted lightly. Whether indirect or direct references involving somebody's movement, travel route, or location can sound threatening to many people, especially when hostility already exists. And this is exactly why many supporters are now saying this situation has crossed a dangerous line with people, because online arguments are one thing, But once people begin discussing where somebody travels, where they pass, what road they use, that creates fear, paranoia, tension, and most importantly, it creates potential legal consequences. Because in many places around the world, including Jamaica and internationally, statements perceived as threats can become serious matter. And this is where maturity becomes necessary, because words are powerful and matter are very powerful. A person may believe that they are only talking tough, Another person may interpret it as intimidation, while another may interpret it as an incitement with people. And as I say, once the public starts feeling that somebody's safety may be at risk, the entire atmosphere changes. This stops being entertainment point blank. This becomes serious. So now we don't want to let us just talk about something deeply rooted within Caribbean culture, and especially to be more clear, Jamaican culture. The idea of bad mind, my people, a term many people use when they believe someone is operating from envy, jealousy, resentment, or hidden bitterness. And according to many viewers following this entire situation, they strongly believe bad mind energy is sitting in the center of this fallout, because people are asking difficult questions like, why continue to attacking somebody after the friendship is already over? Why continue to escalating tensions publicly? Why continue speaking aggressively? Why you are going to continue send emotional pressure towards someone who has already moved on? And these questions are exactly why many supporters are beginning to say this no longer looks like simple disappointment. They believe it looks personal, and matter very personal. Some people feel that certain individuals become uncomfortable watching COLAZ SMITH TV continue growing independently. And let us be real, my people. Success changes relationships most of the time. Do you understand? Not everybody can handle watching another person elevate. Sometimes the same people who laugh with you during the struggles become angry once the spotlight gets brighter around you, my people. That happens in music, in sports, in business. That happens on YouTube too. And the supporters are now accusing both Knife Ninja JA and Whispa Di Minista of carrying unresolved resentment towards COLAZ SMITH TV. They believe grudges were silently building for a long time, and once the separation happened publicly, everything exploded. One of the biggest problems in today's digital era is pride. Internet pride, my people. Me I talk about ego pride. Public image pride, because once situations become public, many people stop trying to solve problems peacefully. Instead, they start performing for audiences, and when audiences are involved, people often become more extreme. Why? Because they want validation. They want comments supporting them. And they want people cheering them on. Them want to appear strong and they want to appear fearless. But the problem is this, my people. Internet applause can push people into real life destructions, and too many people are willing to go further than they normally would simply because they feel pressured to maintain a tough image online. And this is why situations spiral out of control. One person says something reckless, another responds emotionally, friends become involved, family involved, supporters involved, and suddenly nobody remembers how the conflict even started anymore. All that remains is the anger. This is why wisdom matter. Because once stress enter the atmosphere, consequences are going to follow my people. And me I talk about legal consequences like career consequences, safety consequences, even psychological consequences, and sometimes consequences that cannot be reversed. So one thing social media often destroy is the empathy. People forget creators are human beings, and behind the cameras, behind live streams, behind the personalities, there are real families, real mother and father, children, and real emotions. And when threats start circulating publicly, those family members feel fear too. You understand? Imagine hearing somebody mentioning routes you travel. Imagine hearing people indirectly implying dangers around places you visit. And imagine wondering whether online hostility might spill into real life. That pressure affects mental health, it affects peace of mind, it affects the people around you. And this is why many viewers are now urging everyone involved to calm the situation before it reaches irreversible territory. Because no YouTube fallout is worth bloodshed, no disagreement is worth prison, no ego is worth somebody losing their freedom or life, and sadly, too many situations begin with just words before eventually becoming tragedies. Now let us talk about something else that many people are overlooking. Supporters do have power. May I talk about huge power you guys have. The audience can either calm situations down or fuel them further. And unfortunately, sometimes followers encourage the worst behavior possible. They hype conflict, they encourage disrespect, sometimes they celebrate aggression, they even treat tensions like entertainment. But what many people fail to realize is this: the creators eventually live with the consequences over time, not the commenters, not the spectators, and not the people typing laughing emojis. The actual individuals involved are the ones whose lives become affected, and this is why supporters need to stop encouraging violence. May I talk about stop encouraging threats and dangerous rhetoric, because this disagreement is normal among people and the criticism is normal. Debate is normal, but intimidation, threats, obsessive hostility, that is where the line must be drawn, and me attack clearly. Now let us address the legal side carefully and responsibly. We are explaining to them because them not understand. You understand, if statements are interpreted as threats to people or intimidation, there could absolutely be legal implications depending on the laws, evidence, the recordings, the screenshots, and the circumstances involved. Because people need to understand something. Social media is not private. Lives are recorded, streams are archived, posts are screenshot, and the videos are clipped. Many people believe deleting something removes accountability. It does not, and this is why public figures especially needs to be careful about the language they use, because emotional moments online can create long-term consequences offline. A heated live stream, yeah man, my people, a heated live stream today can become evidence tomorrow. This is not about taking sides blindly. This is about understanding that once conversation starts sounding threatening, the situation enters a completely different category. And that category is dangerous for everybody involved. Sometimes the most dangerous conflicts are not physical. Yes, sometimes they are psychological, my people. And most people watching this situation believes emotional warfare is taking place publicly. Pressure may talk about people, intimidation, public humiliation, mockery, threatening language, aggressive narratives. These things slowly create emotional exhaustion, and that exhaustion can push people into reacting emotionally themselves, which is exactly why maturity matters no more than ever, my people. Because one reckless response, my people, can escalate everything further. One emotional reaction can create a chain reaction nobody can control, and sadly, social media rewards chaos on a daily basis. The louder the conflict becomes, the more views it gets. The more people tune in, the more attention it attracts. And behind all the views and entertainment are real human consequences, my people. One of the biggest lessons people are taking from this entire fallout is how complicated loyalty can become. Because loyalty is easy during success, it is easy during the fun moments, it is easy when everybody a benefit. But true loyalty is tested when disagreement happens. And many supporters now believe this entire fallout revealed hidden feelings that existed long before the public ever knew anything was wrong. Some people believe certain individuals were silently competing instead of genuinely supporting. Others believe misunderstandings simply exploded out of control. But regardless of where people stand, one thing is certain. Trust has completely broken down with people. And once trust disappears publicly, rebuilding relationships become extremely difficult. A major reason many supporters are rallying around COLAZ SMITH TV, my people, is because they believe he continued focusing on content creation and growth despite all the negativity surrounding him. They see someone continuing to work, continuing to create, continuing to travel, and continuing to entertain his supporters. And in their eyes, they believe others became uncomfortable watching that continued success. Now, whether everybody agrees with what perspective or not, it is clearly the dominant feeling among many supporters. They believe envy played a major role, they believe unresolved bitterness played a major role, and they believe public attacks are being fueled by emotional resentment, my people. And at this stage, the smartest thing anybody at all can do is de-escalate, not escalate. Because the road this situation is heading down is dangerous, and no amount of online clout is worth what could happen if emotions continue spiraling. Everybody involved need to remember words can influence action, audiences can become emotional, supporters can become reckless, situations can become unpredictable my people, and once something irreversible happens, apologies become meaningless my people. That is why cooler heads must prevail now, not next week, not next month, me I talk about now. At the center of this entire conflict, one know my people is pain. Pain from broken friendship, pain from ego, pain from betrayal, pain from resentment, pain from public embarrassment, and even pain from unresolved emotion. And unfortunately, when pain mixes with pride, dangerous situations can emerge. But hopefully, before this goes any further, wisdom will eventually overcome emotion, because no creator should feel unsafe, no family should feel threatened, and no disagreement should ever move into the direction of violence. As supporters, we can discuss situations responsibly without encouraging destruction, and that is exactly what common sense stands for: conversation, awareness, truth, perspective. So, to every single person watching right now, remember this, people: entertainment is temporary, freedom is valuable, life is precious. Never allow pride, envy, anger, or internet validation to push you into decisions that could destroy your future forever. And before we go any further, make sure you like this video, share this video across every platform, and remember, comment respectfully with your thoughts, my people, and subscribe to Common Sense, because your support helps keep this important conversation alive, my people. Tell me in the comments, man, do you think this situation has gone too far? Do you think social media beefs are becoming too dangerous? And do you believe everybody involved should finally dead the tensions before something irreversible happens? This is Common Sense, my people, and we will continue bringing you the conversations everybody else is afraid to have. So up until the next one, my people, enough respect, enough love, enough honors and manners. Yeah, my people, I was telling you guys, I'm out.